Hi everyone, this is the Nordic Venture Show, your guide to the exciting world of Nordic startups and venture capital. In today's episode, we're exploring a startup called Curipod.
Welcome to today's deep dive. We're going to be diving into online learning and classroom technology.
Okay.
Specifically, this whole thing about a platform called Curipod.
Right.
You've been doing a lot of research on this.
I have been. Yeah. It seems like you're in a quest to make education more engaging.
Yeah.
And all this research you've been doing with these excerpts from Curipod's blog and this Spark Your Students' Curiosity page. It seems like Curipod might actually hold some answers to unlocking student engagement.
For sure.
So
Yeah, what is it about Curipod? What do they do?
So what's really cool about them is they're not just trying to digitize worksheets or textbooks. It's not like taking old content and just putting it online.
Yeah.
They're really focused on sparking curiosity, which makes sense.
It's in the name.
Yeah, exactly. It's like they understand that people learn best when they want to learn, when they're motivated and interested and curious.
Yeah.
And, that really resonated with me.
It's like they're tapping into that inner child, what is it about kids, and asking why a million times.
Exactly. Oh, my gosh.
That's how they're learning.
That's how they learn?
That's how we all learn, actually.
Totally.
And speaking of origins.
Yeah.
Did you know Curipod is from Norway?
Huh. Interesting.
Yeah, you don't see that every day.
No, you don't see a Scandinavian edtech company every day.
Right. Making these waves internationally, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, it really is. It makes you wonder, what they're bringing to the table.
Yeah.
From a region that's known for having a really strong educational system.
Right.
But, even beyond that, what's really interesting to me?
Yeah.
Is just how big they are. How many students they've reached.
Okay, how many are we talking?
One of the articles mentioned over 5 million students have used Curipod.
Wow.
That's not insignificant.
5 million, that's huge.
That's a lot of students.
Yeah, it's not just like a drop in the bucket, it's a big splash.
Yeah, that's a big old tidal wave.
So clearly they're onto something.
Right. They're doing something right.
And it's not just fun and games, though.
Well,
although they seem to embrace that.
Go on.
We saw some stuff about math battle royale and vocabulary meme battle.
Yeah, they know how to make it fun.
They're speaking the language of the students.
They get it.
But there's more to it than just that, right?
Yeah, for sure.
What really stood out to me was how Curipod is being used to help multilingual learners.
Oh, yeah.
There's a really powerful article about that.
Yeah, that's something that's really important to me, too. Because if you're going to create a really inclusive learning environment,
Right.
you have to think about language barriers.
Yeah.
And it sounds like Curipod is finding ways to do that.
Yeah.
I mean, imagine a classroom where kids' different language backgrounds become a strength instead of a barrier.
Yeah.
That's really powerful.
Totally. And for those who want to know, the more practical side of things,
Right.
Curipod is very clear that their lessons are aligned with educational standards.
Of course.
Things like CCSS and text.
Right, which are really important for educators to know about.
Yeah. And just in case people aren't familiar with those acronyms,
Yeah.
CCSS is the Common Core State Standards.
Right.
And then TEX is the Texas Essential Knowledge and Skills.
Exactly. And those are basically the blueprints for what students should be learning in each grade.
Yeah, it's like the framework.
Makes sense that they'd want to align with that.
Totally. And get this.
Right.
They're even tackling standardized testing.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, with test prep solutions that are aligned with all 50 states.
Interesting. So they're addressing the elephant in the room. It's everyone knows standardized tests are important, but nobody really wants to deal with them.
Right.
But it sounds like they're finding a way to make it not so bad.
Maybe even fun.
Right. Why not make it fun?
Exactly. It's they're taking all the stress out of these big tests by making the preparation feel more
Right.
like learning.
Exactly.
And speaking of keeping things relatable,
Yeah.
I really like those teacher testimonials,
Oh, yeah. Those are always good.
especially the one from Aileen Wallace.
Yeah. Aileen's story is really something else.
What'd you think?
She's a teacher with 15 years of experience, right?
Yeah, sounds like she's been at it a while.
So she could easily be set in her ways.
Yeah.
But then she finds Curipod and she goes from being kind of hesitant about technology
Really?
to leading workshops and creating her own Curipod lessons.
Oh.
That's pretty amazing.
That says a lot.
Right. It really shows you how easy it is to use.
Yeah.
And how much it can get teachers excited even if they weren't that into technology before.
You can practically feel her enthusiasm.
Totally.
Like just reading her words on the page is contagious.
Yeah, it's like Curipod reignited something in her,
Yeah.
gave her this new energy for teaching by giving her new tools.
And that makes me think,
What's that?
it's not about replacing teachers with technology, is it?
No, not at all. That's not what this is about.
Right.
It's about empowering teachers,
Yeah.
giving them more to work with.
Yeah, like Aileen.
Exactly. Like Aileen.
Giving them tools to be even better.
Yeah, to do even more for their students.
Yeah, to make learning fun and effective.
It's like that perfect blend of technology and human touch.
That's what makes all the difference.
Absolutely.
And it sounds like Curipod might have actually found that sweet spot.
It seems like it. I mean, what I find really compelling is how they're bridging the gap between traditional teaching and cutting-edge technology.
Oh, interesting.
They're not throwing out the old playbook completely.
Yeah.
They're taking those tried and true methods and making them interactive.
Right.
Adding in some gamification.
And that digital magic.
Exactly. They've found that secret sauce.
To make learning irresistible.
Exactly.
But I think what really speaks to you even more than all the bells and whistles is the heart of it all.
What do you mean?
Like their philosophy. This whole idea of sparking curiosity is the key to learning.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, you really got it there. That's exactly what I was getting at.
It's like they figured out how to capture that feeling you get.
Oh,
You know, that aha moment when you finally understand something.
Oh, yeah.
Or when you discover something new and it just clicks.
That spark of discovery.
Exactly. They've bottled it.
I like that, bottled it.
And they're making it accessible to every student.
And that's important, isn't it?
Hugely important, because not everyone learns the same way.
Right.
Some kids love competition and games. Others might need a little extra help with language or, different learning styles.
It's about making sure everyone has a chance.
Yes.
Yeah.
Creating a level playing field where everyone can succeed.
And that's really what I keep coming back to in this whole deep dive.
What do you mean?
It's not just about finding the coolest new tech tools.
Right.
It's about transforming education as a whole.
Now you're talking, that's the big picture.
Making it more engaging, for sure, but also more inclusive.
Absolutely.
And ultimately more effective for every single student.
That's the dream right there.
It really is. Imagine if we could create learning experiences that are as unique as the students themselves.
Now that would be something.
Right. So they feel seen and heard and understood.
Exactly. Meeting them where they are and helping them grow.
And Curipod seems to be doing that in a lot of ways.
They are, but it also makes you think how we can take all this even further.
Oh, I like where you're going with this.
So they've given us these amazing tools.
Right.
But how can we use them to personalize learning on a whole new level?
Personalization, that's the key, isn't it?
It's everything. It's not just about meeting standards anymore. It's about igniting passions.
Wow.
Helping each student find what they're truly interested in.
Wow. Yeah, I love that. It's like we're on the verge of something huge.
We are. It's exciting. Education is changing right before our eyes.
It's not just about memorizing facts anymore.
Right. It's about exploring and questioning and discovering.
It's about empowering students to learn in the way that works best for them.
And that right there is what we should all be taking away from this deep dive.
I love it.
It's not about the technology itself. It's about what we do with it.
It's about using it to unlock potential.
Yes. And to spark a love of learning that lasts a lifetime.
Absolutely. Well said. That's a fantastic note to end on. Thank you so much for joining me on this deep dive.
My pleasure. It's been enlightening.
And thank you to our listeners for coming along on this journey with us. We'll see you next time for another deep dive into the world of education and technology.
Thanks for listening to the Nordic Venture Show. Don't forget to subscribe and stay tuned for more stories of innovation from the Nordics.